What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and today we're going to talk about play action in NCAA Football 06. This is part of our quarterback series. In the last few videos of our quarterback series, we talked about routes that work well against man and against zone, especially from a drop back perspective. We've talked about hot routes. Well, today we're going to talk about routes that work really well via play action that may work well against certain coverages that normally didn't work well if you've done it in drop back. We're going to talk about things like that. We're going to talk about protection, and we're also going to talk about different play action movements and concepts, ones that work well and others that don't work as well. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to start off with the various play action movements. And what I mean by play action movement is what the quarterback is actually doing during the play action before he actually gets to throw the ball. So let's start off with ace normal. Let's look at PA rollout. This is the most common and best under center play action movement that is under center in the game. He will do a basic rollout. It's very quick and efficient, and you can flip it without any penalty, all that good stuff. So what I just want you to focus on is how quick it is and the fact that you can do some different things with it, whether you're a lefty or righty quarterback. So let's go ahead and select that. I'll just select a random play and just watch the quarterback and see how quick it is and see how quick the icons come up after he makes the initial movement. So boom, we're already ready to throw the ball. It's just super quick. It doesn't take long at all. He will roll out. Technically, he stops, but they call it a rollout. You can roll out if you want to. The big thing here is just focus on how quickly he gets the play action movement out of the way. Boom, we're ready to throw the ball. Very nice. Even better is my quarterback is right-handed, and yes, we roll to our right a little bit, but if you flip it, if you hit square and R2, it's just as quick. We're going to snap it. Boom. The icons are already up. Really nice. It is very useful to know because there are some play actions that don't work as quickly. So let's pick one. Let's go over to PA counter. What he'll do here is the halfback's going to do a little counter move, and then, of course, the quarterback's going to fake that to him. But notice how slow this is. And you also got to remember we are a right-handed quarterback, so let's go ahead up against a random defense. And look how slow this is. Now he can throw it. It just took a little bit longer to develop. What will happen here is you may get sacked more frequently because this play action is real slow. That does not mean this play is awful. It just means it's slower. So you just got to keep that in mind. Okay, so we can do it again. Now he can throw it. It's about a half a second slower compared to the rollout. Now, if you flip it, remember we got a righty quarterback. If you flip it, it's even slower. Watch this. We're going to snap it. He's got to turn all the way around, and then he can throw it. Super slow, and you're going to end up having situations like this where he'll get sacked. So let's go ahead and flip it again. We'll snap it. Got to turn all the way back around, and then he can throw it. If you are a lefty quarterback and you flip it, it's going to be the normal speed of this one right here. So you just have to be mindful of a particular play action play like this one. There's another one we can look at. This is the other more common under center play action movement. This one's PA strike. This is pretty much very straightforward. He just, fakes it to the halfback and goes out with it. But unfortunately, it's just slow. So let's go ahead and select PA strike, okay? If you play it as is, it's the quickest for a right-handed quarterback. See, he gets sacked. Just a bad play, bad protection. We'll try it again. And now he can throw it. About the same speed as that counter we just looked at. But if you flip it, it's super slow. We're going to snap it. He's got to turn all the way back around, and boom, he's going to get sacked. The icons didn't even pop up. So we'll do that again. We're going to flip it because he's a righty, and it's even slower. So you have to be mindful of that when you're calling this play, and especially if you're flipping it. But those are the three main under center play action movements. You got your PE rollout, which is the best by far, mainly because it's quicker and you can flip it without any penalty. Then you got your counter. This is actually kind of rare. And the other one is the other more common one, which is the under center basic one. There's a lot of different names for these particular plays, but it's just very straightforward. Unfortunately, it is slow. Now, let's talk about shotgun just for a little bit. There's technically only two. Now, we are not going to cover PA reads and RPOs in this video. That's another video for another day. Just because there's a run component, there's just a lot more that goes into it. So we're going to ignore that for now. We're going to talk about basic play action, and there's only one type in the shotgun formations, and I like it pretty well. So let's go ahead and just select PA inside. Just, again, focus on the quarterback. Notice how quick it is. Boom, and he's ready to throw it. Really nice. It's very simple. You can also flip it, and you're not going to have any type of penalty to go with this in terms of how slow it is. We'll go ahead and do something like this, and boom, he's ready to throw it. Really nice. It just don't take him long at all. Okay? So that is the most common shotgun one. Now, you still have to be leery of, protection, but that's just up to your offensive line, kind of doing their job there. But I love these play actions from in the shotgun. I think they're pretty quick. I know that's not a good example there, but trust me, I think it's pretty solid. Okay, and again, we're going to ignore the PA read stuff. We'll do that at a later day. The next thing I want to talk about is pass protection. One thing you got to be a little leery of is, like, we'll go ahead and select PA boot from iChwins, and we'll go up against a random play here. This is a good example of when you have blitzing coming from a weak side. So this is a PA rollout. That's the first one we talked about. It's very easy for the defense to come around and get like an easy sack. Now, I hope I can pull this off. If I don't, forgive me. But good little play here. I'm going to go and try to do this a couple more times. It's just very weak because all you have is your left tackle and your left guard. It would be great if you had like a tight end right here, but you don't. But sometimes, just when you're calling playing action plays from a formation like this, just don't be shocked if this guy comes off the edge real quickly, or a linebacker, and really makes a pretty good play. That's why certain formations come into play that work a little bit better. For example, let's go back to ace normal. I'm going to go ahead and select that. I'm going to go PA rollout. We're going to select that. Let's put this on the right hash for now. So this is the basic PA rollout. We talked about that at the beginning. Notice this tight end is going for like a little slant route. We talked about hot routes. We can hit triangle. We can hit L1. If you feel like you need extra protection, you can always hit L2, and he can block for you. That extra blocker on the backside makes all the difference in the world, as you can see right here. Okay, just kind of keep that in mind. Not every formation has a backside tight end, or you have the opportunity to like go with iChwins again, PA boot. We'll just select a random play here. You can also take this fullback and you can move him over like here. Then you can hot route him to a block, something like that. That may be a little bit more helpful. Did you see what happened there? I'll show you what the fullback does. See, I hot routed him to a block if I can get my cursor on him. There we go. He just nudged that guy just enough. Just a little bit, just to kind of get in the way. Of course, your weak formations are pretty good at that since he's already down there. Just something to think about when it comes to pass protection. If you're going to call a play from this formation, just be wary of that. You may get a sack. Like, that's a possibility right here. I was going to show you. We'll go to instant replay. At this point, this scares me. This linebacker coming right here. Thankfully, the play action, he bit on it. But sometimes they don't. Sometimes they'll go right for your quarterback, and it's like the easiest sack ever. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Now let's talk about actual routes that work pretty cool against play action, against certain coverages that don't work the same like in drop back. The first one we're going to talk about is some man routes. Let's talk about the flare route from the fullback specifically. Let's go to I normal. Let's go PA fullback flat. Notice that play action movement? That's that one from PA strike from earlier. It's still kind of slow, but you see a fullback running a flare route. Against man, this is a killer route. So let's go over here. We're going up against man, and let's go to this fullback. Here's what's great about it. If I can get it to play off in time, let's see if I can do this right here. There we go. That's a little bit better. Here's the key to this play right here, and we're going to get a fumble. Here's the key to this one. The defender on this fullback right here is like 10 yards off the guy. This is his defender, or it's a solid 7 yards. That's the power of that play action combining with that flare route. He gets wide open. You got to take advantage of this if you can. There's some plays or some formations that have plays like this. I love them to death if you can pull it off. Okay, you go over here. Look at this. Wide open. killer against man. Okay, you can also do the same thing with a tight end. There's not many of them in this one, unless you use like my updated playbook. But Ace Big Twins, I think it is, where's it at? Let me see. PA flat choice. This is technically a flat route by the tight end, but we're going to go ahead and select that, and we'll go up against a man coverage. Now I'm going to go over to this tight end. I'm going to throw it quickly. Look how wide open he is. Boom! He is like a solid 10 yards away from everybody else, especially his defender. Look at this. He is like 10 yards away from him. A killer play. That's easy free yards as long as you get decent protection to go with that. Okay? Those are the only real special man-beating play-action routes that are just unique compared to drop-back. Everything else comes into play. Your basic drop-back stuff, your digs, your ins, your outs, all good against man. But I wanted to point out the special fullback flare in that tight end flat that can get those guys wide open. The next thing I want to talk about is a couple of zone situations. Let's go to iTwins, PA boot. We want to talk about this go route with play action. Okay, let's go ahead and select that. This, it matters. You got to remember, with our zone route video, we talked about how it really matters where you're at on the field, left or right hash. This is no different. Against a cover 2 zone, right here, cover 2 and zone. It could be a zone blitz, it could be whatever, but as long as it's a cover 2 and it's zone, that go route is absolutely killer. Anybody who's watched my dynasties enough knows how many times I've used this over the years. So I got a go route. Let's pretend that we're playing an actual game. We know that they're playing zone. Now all I'm going to do is going to focus on this safety and just see if he splits out. If he splits out, that means it's cover 2. So we're going to go ahead and snap this, and we're going to hold down that button. Boom, wide open. This is what we're wanting here. So we're going to snap it. You see both safeties split. We all know that's cover 2 zone. And I'm going to hold down the button as hard as I can, thread the needle between that bubble right there, between those defenders, and get a really big gain. Cover 2 zone, go route to the short side of the field. Okay, this does not work if you're coming over here. You may get like a one-on-one situation with the safety, but you're going to have something like that. That's just a terrible safety, but this is not what we want. You got to go up against a really good safety, and he would pick that off. What we really want is this wide receiver to get wide open, and it really works best if you go to the short side of the field like this and something like that, and that was a terrible throw. But again, this is a great way to pick up some chunk yardage. Right there, that's what we're wanting. Excellent play. Cover 2 zone with that short side go route via play action. The next thing I want to talk about is that flare route again. Now, we talked about the fullback flare, but this also is killer against certain zone coverages, specifically cover 3 and cover 4. Several videos ago, we talked about the various defensive coverages of man, 0, 1, and 2, and zone 2, 3, and 4. Well, now think about cover 3 and 4 zone. Let's go ahead and select PA fullback flat again, and let's select a cover 3. Okay, he gets wide open as long as there's decent protection. We'll try this again. Do something like this. Oop, that's just really good play by that defender. Let me try that one more time. I may need to pick a different cover 3. Oh, that's probably a really good safety. My bad. Let me go cover 4. Or there may be a different. Let me pick another one. Let me go a different cover 3. Let's do a Hulk 3. I think it should work here. Let's try that. There we go. That's what I was wanting to show you. Right here. Okay. Notice how wide open he got. Let's put our cursor on the fullback. Do something like this. Play action. When you see this corner back out like this, what I always look for, since this is zone, I always look for like this safety coming down, or, and more specifically, this fullback going towards the middle of the field or going straight back. In this case, he's going that way, but he is just wide open. Cover 3, cover 4. We could try cover 4 right here. Let's do here. Let's pick that. Let's go quarters. Do the same thing. Wide open. Just a terrible throw, but wide open again. All the world, all the grass of the world he can use to make a big play. Let's try that one more time. Let's see if we can make it look decent. If we can get better protection, maybe get better protection from our tight end. Something like this. There we go. He just got to make the catch. But the key here, notice how wide open he was. Cover 3, cover 4. it works really good. If it's against cover 2, it does not. I can go ahead and show you why it doesn't. We'll go and select that again. Let's go against cover 2. The reason why it doesn't work is because that corner, if I can get protection from somebody, is because of that corner sitting on it. This corner right here against cover 2, his responsibility is to sit in the flat and wait for something to defend, and he's going to defend that flat. Don't do that against cover 2. Okay, let's pick another one. This is kind of a rare one, but you can also do this with wide receivers. Let's go I twins. And you notice PA smash. This is a rollout, by the way, as you can tell by the quarterback. We're going to focus on this little whip route to the zig out to the far left. We're going to go with PA smash, and we're going to go up against like a quarters. We're going to put this on this side of the field. It helps if you're going to throw it to the strong side of the field. Okay, we're going to throw it to him. If I can get good protection, wide open. Awesome. So any type of play action you have that has a little out route to the far side with that wide receiver, as you see right there, look how wide open he is. I love that stuff. It should also work pretty decent against cover 3. Let's select that again. We'll go cover 3, and we'll go right back to him. Big thing is, once you are doing the play action, just focus on the safeties and see what they're doing. Boom, wide open, easy 10 yards, and then some. So when I'm here, when the ball is snapped, when he is doing his play action, I'm looking at the safeties. What are they doing? I'm seeing a guy going up the middle. That means it's a cover 3. Any safety that goes right here in the middle means it's a cover 3 zone. And now I know that guy's wide open. I don't even have to look at him. I just know he's wide open. That's just the way the game works with this particular play against that particular coverage. Okay, just a killer situation to be in. You can use some hot routes to make this work. We can try, for example, we can go to ace normal. Here we got that PA rollout again. Well, what if I don't want to use this big crossing route? What if I want to put him like on a little out route to give me a good cover 3 or 4 beater? Let's go and hit PA rollout. Let's do against quarters again. Let's use those hot routes we mentioned in the previous video. Let's go triangle. Let's hit square for Meacham and hit left. That gets us a little out route. Let's see if this works or not. We'll go here. Look at that. Wide open. He had a solid 5-yard distance between him and his defender. Nice little adjustment. All it took was 1. And boom, you got an easy cover 3 or cover 4 beater. Because what's even more useful than that is, look, this is a PA rollout. What do we have here? We got a go route to the short side. What's that good against? Cover 2 zone. So when you go ahead and select a play like this, you go PA rollout, and they go with a cover 2 zone, it's no different. Come over here. Boom. Easy big gain right there. And then if they went cover 3 or 4, you can make this little adjustment. Do your little out route to the other side, and now what do you have? You got a cover 2 zone beater, and you got a cover 3 and 4 beater, which means you are set against any man coverage they throw at you. It doesn't matter what they call, as long as you get decent protection. Let's go ahead and snap this. Boom, wide open. It's just little things like that that make play action so much fun in this game. You just got to play around with some of your routes that you have learned already from the previous videos and do a lot of practice. When you snap the ball, focus on those safeties. What are they doing? And then you make your plays after that. Okay, so hopefully this was helpful. Basic play action stuff. I highly recommend you add play action to your offense at least a little bit. It doesn't really matter what scheme you run. It's a lot of fun once you can actually execute some of it. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.